Hey, all about fishing with Big Kev. Hey, let's talk old school in today's world. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to the channel, all about fishing with Big Kev. Hey, like and subscribe. Love to have you on the channel. Hey, I want to talk to you about lures today. Lures that have been around for decades, that are still on the market. I fished them when I was 4 years old, and I remember hundreds of them in my dad's tackle box. And there was always about the main 4 or 5 lures, because a lot of things weren't on the market back then. And I'm talking 55 plus years back. So let's discuss what's out there and what we played with as kids. So first one I want to talk to you about is the Hellbender. The Hellbender looks like this. It's been around for a long time. This lure started in the 1960s. A Hawk Fishing Lure Company invented the Hellbender. And then Hedon bought it, and now Pradco is a company that owns the rights to the Hellbender. So that's the Hellbender. This was a great trolling lure. We trolled with this, with that big bill on it. And this would get down 20, 25, 30 foot deep. And we'd pick up stripers and wipers with this when I was a kid. My dad had these come multiple colors. Nowadays, I think there's only about 4 or 5 colors, but back in the day, they were about every color under the sun. But that's the Hellbender. 1960, still on the market today. Must work, right? People are still selling it. People are still buying it. People are still making it. Must be a working lure. That's the Hellbender. The next one I remember as a kid was the Thin Fin. Storm made the Thin Fin. Started in 1965 by the Storm Brothers. And we religiously use these lures. They come in all kinds of colors as well. And had multiple of them in our tackle box. And we would troll with these as well. So that's the Thin Fin. The next one that everybody's probably got some in their tackle box is a Maru Jig. Every kid had this in their tackle box, Maru Jig. Maru Jig started out in 1957 by a guy that made these by the name of Bill Ward, and he lived in Missouri, so close to Kansas here. So Maru Jigs have been around since 1957, and they're still out there today. And there's tons of them. The other one is every kid had in their tackle box. It's a Beetle Spins. Beetle Spins started out in 1960, and they were invented by a gentleman by the name of Chuck Wood. And very versatile bait, great casting bait. And we actually trolled with these as well. We did a lot of trolling when I was a kid. Very little casting, a lot of trolling. Trolling and drifting was back in the 68, 69, somewhere in there. But the Beetle Spins are very versatile, all-around lure for about a lot of species. Crappie, white bass, smallmouth, largemouth, any panfish really, but the Beetle Spin. 1960. Next one that we had in our tackle box, a bunch of, was the Rattle Trap. Again, the Rattle Trap came in all different colors and sizes. And the Rattle Trap started out in 1960 by the name of a guy named Bill Lewis invented that. So are you guys kind of seeing the trend here? The late 50s, early 60s was kind of the innovative era of lure making. And I'm just trying to understand what people had in their tackle boxes back in the day before we had all these lures. It was hooks, weights, and swivels probably, and bobbers. And I mean, it was a live bait world back in the day, I guess. And then all these lures came about and everybody got a little different vibe on fishing. Another one that's been around for a long, long time is MEP spinners. MEP spinners started out in 1938. Old lure, still around, still in the market. And a great all multi-species lure. And mainly a casting lure. But yeah, MEPS has been around for, man, years. And a little tidbit I wanted to share with you, and we'll wrap this up. The oldest lure company out there is a company by the name of Hedon Lures. And Hedon has made tons of different lures, and a lot of them, I mean, they've just lasted, and they're still making them, and it's Hedon. And I'll post some pictures of some of the old antique Hedons I have on my board here they're famous for being known by. And then I wanted to share a little trivia deal. I kind of was doing some research, and the most expensive lure ever sold, and I can tell you it's not on this board, but it was made in 1859. It was called a giant Haskell minnow. And it recently sold, well, not recently, but it sold at auction, I believe it was back in the 80s, for $101,200. $101,200. Now, I'm pretty sure somebody's not going to go fishing with a 1859 lure. It's more of a nostalgia thing, a collector item. But I just can't fathom walking into a big box store and popping down 101 grand for one lure. I'm thinking, these $25 to $75 lures are a little on the high side for me. But my luck, I'd throw that $101,000 lure and I wouldn't even get one crank in, and it'd be on the bottom with a tree hanging on it. So, but anyway, hey, just wanted to share a little bit of history with some of these lures that are still on the market. They're on the market for a reason. It's not because they got a lot of money and they just want to make a bunch of lures. It's not because they don't work. It's not because they're not selling. It's because they are selling. They are working. And if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Then don't get me wrong. There's a lot of new technology out there. There's a lot of fantastic new lures out on the market that have been out there for a while. But I just wanted to show you some of the era of my childhood lures still on the market, still working, still using them today, and still producing fish. So hey, everybody, take care. We're supposed to get a huge snowstorm this weekend, and it's going to be pretty crazy for a while. They're talking major ice and a foot of snow or more, which is a lot for Kansas. So everybody stay safe. And if you're hung inside because of the weather, it's a great time to start doing your maintenance on your rods, your reels, clean out your tackle boxes, get reorganized, find you a warm place, sit down, and just enjoy the angling experience of rebuilding your equipment and sorting out your tackle. Hopefully you find some of these older stuff that I showed you today, and get it out there next time we get some decent weather. Hey, tie lines, everybody. Stay safe. Take care.